Hello, I'm MPX Toycat, and I have a confession to make. I have a fully enchanted Netherite pickaxe, a fully enchanted Netherite shovel, but I don't have a fully enchanted Netherite sword because, as you can see, it's missing that Unbreaking free enchantment. Indeed, I'm also missing it, embarrassingly enough, on my shears as well. You can even see how bad the shears are suffering. Everyone's laughing, the shears are in pain, and today I want to fix that by showing you how to get any enchantment you want very easily. Of course, that's via villager trading, but what's the easiest way to do so, and how can it truly work for every enchantment? Allow me to show you as we head to the end. It might sound a bit odd that we're going to the end to go for villager trading, but I assure you the story makes sense. But in case you're curious before any of that, a really important update I wanted to make very early on this Let's Play is that the Let's Play world will be available on the marketplace as of tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's late in the UK, it's midday in the West Coast of America. You'll be able to download the Let's Play world. You can find it on the marketplace. It's from IBX Toy Maps, and it will cost you just 490 Minecoins, I do believe, is the finalized price. So I'm super excited for everyone to download this and to do things with it, and it's gonna be a whole fun thing where you can see all of the weird things that I built in this world, and you can check it out. There's a music discount, and if you want to do so, tomorrow it'll be available. If you don't want it, or you don't think you should pay, that's all cool too. But a lot of people have been excited, and I can finally answer that. When is the Let's Play coming out? Tomorrow. Anyway, so why are we going through the end in a weird stone tunnel that we made in the last week via live streams? And it's because I want to show you my village that I have over here. That's right, I have this lovely village, as you can see. It's got a bunch of villagers. A lot of them are farmers right now because I have some composters, but I also have a librarian right here. And you'll notice the librarian will trade me paper for emeralds. And if I give him a book and I give him some emeralds, he'll give me looting too. And then the next level, he'll give me something else. I forgot to bring paper and books with me, I think. Oh, no, we've got some in a chest just over here. How perfect. So anyway, so now what we can do is we can take this, villager who clearly likes this lectern a lot, and we can obviously trade with him until we get the right enchantment. However, because once you trade with a villager, his trades become locked in stone. If you don't trade with a villager at all, if you've never traded with a villager, then something really handy you might not know until just now. By the way, we're going to be building a whole village around these guys, but for now, let's start on the basics. As you can see, librarian stops being a librarian after you take away his lectern. You know, apparently in the end, the rules are slightly different. I guess, you know, sleeping doesn't work correctly out here, and either does the... I must just have another lectern lying around. That's what this has got to be. There's another lectern that I just can't see, that I've got to wait for, and then this villager will change his profession as a result of that being gone. Oh, it's funny, I was trying to prove how you could reset his trades, but I have traded with him once before. So, oopsie, I guess. Now we know that, as you can see, once you've traded with them once, you can't trade with them again, so you need to get another librarian. Aha! We found a second librarian. He's busy sleeping, so we'll just break his bed. Boom. Pro tip, you can't sleep in a bed if the bed is broken. And now we've got a second librarian, and he's gonna offer us some trades. In this case, you know, a bookshelf or some emeralds, and we say no, we're not taking those two things that you offer me. So instead we break it and we give him another set of trades. He stops being a librarian, then he becomes a librarian again, and this time it's a bookshelf and some paper. You know, this is the worst example I've ever gone to prove, but you know, this is how Minecraft works. It doesn't work like the videos all the time, and then this time we get the option for impaling. And obviously you can do this repeatedly in front of them, but it's kind of dangerous because what if he walks off? What if another villager becomes like this? If you live in a busy village, then this is not a smart thing to do. So what I recommend doing instead is to grab some materials, doesn't matter what it is. You can even use emeralds if you have enough of those, and just to build a little house around the villager. So just like this, as you can see, we'll knock him right into this corner. We'll make sure the only way in and out is gonna, okay, there we go. It's blocked off now. Now when we break this, and then when we place over here, the exact same thing. It's the only block that he physically has access to. However, there's a problem with this method, is that we have to go up and down and break it every time and see what he's trading. Oh, is it gonna be? It's not unbreaking, so we try again. And it's a little bit fiddly, so a better method, because also a trade site becomes unusable when a villager doesn't have access to it, is to do something like this. As you can see, his job site's keeping him in there, but in case you're curious, when we break the job site, he's obviously gonna have access out. So you use a slab. I actually recommend not even a slab. Let's use something smaller than a slab, like a trapdoor. This is one of the smallest things that will prevent an enemy from getting out somewhere. So let's place this trapdoor just on the side of, you know, we'll just place one there, one here. Boom. Now the trapdoor is there, the villager will be unable to leave his little block. As you can see, I removed this, and now he stays there. And this is really convenient because right in front of us, there is the lectern. We place it, we see what he's got, just some and so on and so forth. But it's still not as convenient as it could be, right? It feels like there's something just a little bit missing from this. And so, as a result, I had to come all the way back to the overworld to find a piston for this next point. So it's super easy and efficient, assuming you're not going all the way to your end and back. But, you know, ignoring that, look how fast it is if you did do that. Wow, look how easy and efficient it is when you remember your block. Anyway, so now we take a simple sticky piston. We can put it really here if we want to, facing the correct way. We can put it right over here if we want to. And then what we do is we place a little lever above it on it. You know, it's up to you where it goes. And now, as you can see, we can automatically place and replace our villager thing. And this time we get bookshelves. Then we replace, unplace. Villager gets undone. He finds it again. He finds a new set of trades. Knock back 2. Place it again. And, you know, having the trapdoor there, very inconvenient. You know, we're going to move this button after we check. This is Bane of Arthropods. And we do this, so on and so forth. It's one of the... Oh, hello, friends. I might have mined into your house a little bit there, it seems. Apologies. So now we're going to place this just over here to be simpler. As you can see, it's a very easy way to check it, and it's a bit of a grueling process, but sometimes Minecraft has that, you know? Sometimes there are parts where you have to do some grinding to get the good results. Frostwalker, actually a pretty great enchantment to have on tap if you want it. I'm genuinely considering taking this one. And yeah, if we want to do this anymore, all we need to do is take existing lecterns, existing jobs. I guess this guy is kind of committed to his job. But we just take the job site and we put it somewhere else, and then we can find another villager like this guy over here, who is also somehow also a librarian that's got looting 2 locked in. Oh no, this person has already had some trades done, so he won't have anything new going on. But this guy, on the other hand, has literally moved into the perfect location. Boom, he is now a librarian. We move him right in there. Place this very quickly, and we've got ourselves a little bit of a system, I think you'll find, where we can have multiple villagers that we're trading with very quickly, very fastly, very effectively, and we can just do this over and over again. Break the job site. What's he got? He's not got any jobs, so then we try it again. I actually haven't checked it. Boom. This time it is, ooh, what's that? 33, protection free, kind of nice. But yeah, it's a fun process, and it's one that you can kind of expand as much as you like. And in today's video, oh, I'm going to be tempted by enchantments like Feather Falling, but the 2 enchantments you need more than anything else, like the ones you should always be going for long term. Obviously, you have your own preference, that's the beautiful thing about Minecraft, but you really need Mending and you really need Unbreaking. Like, those 2 things make every other enchantment go further. Like, what use is it to have protection if you don't also have protection for your protection, i.e. it takes 4 times as long for your chest plates to break? There isn't a point, is the answer. And so yeah, we do this semi-endlessly, but that's fine. That's half the fun, in my opinion. You could use a pressure plate if you wanted to make it even more automated, so you could move and do it at the same time. In fact, you're not, just for fun, just because we're showing off different methods, and I'm having some fun doing it. Let's do this. And so yeah, we're gonna now... Actually, we could probably keep the lever in place. Like, does it... Yeah, the lever's actually not a good idea to keep in place. So we'll place that there. We'll trade with him. We'll stand on it. And then we'll trade, and then we'll stand off it, and then we'll trade again. Depth Strider Free's nice, but not as nice as what I'm hoping for next. And yeah, it does feel a bit like an abusive game mechanics to do this, but it's effectively what you're doing when you're rerolling villagers anyway, except in fast forward mode. I think simple redstone that just uses... that just does a thing for you is kind of nice. Like, really complex redstone has its place too, and I'm sure people really love that, like, especially engineers and stuff. There are people who, super talented people, far more than me, who can love these aspects of Minecraft, but I love when literally just a pressure plate and a piston allows you to do something as complicated as farm for impaling if you wanted to do damage against fish, or if you didn't want to do damage against fish, you can get enchantments like in... like impaling fruit. You've got so many choices when it comes to villagers in Minecraft, and I thank you for choosing these ones. And then we got, what's it there? Oh, is that Unbreaking actually? Unbreaking 2. So we've got Unbreaking 2 now, and we have the decision to make as to whether we take Unbreaking 2 and say, yep, that's good enough, or whether we say, actually, is that good enough? And I'm kind of torn on this one. I think we're gonna say no. I think we're gonna want Unbreaking 3. Yeah, I think I might as well go for Unbreaking 3. Like, if we're here grinding it out anyway, let's do it right. Let's do it in a way that doesn't involve extra steps, extra experience, etc, etc. Even though we're not gonna need Unbreaking for that many things, it's always worth seeing. And in the meantime, we'll get to see a lot more enchantments. And yeah, we'll go through that as we do this. So yeah, hopefully you see the point. I am gonna finish this up today. But what I also want to do today, because, you know, I am surrounded by Endermen. You know what's annoying? When you terraform an entire biome in Minecraft, but for whatever reason, Endermen spawn in, they pick up sand blocks. By picking up the sand blocks, they remove some of the torches, making it dark enough for Endermen to spawn in. It's like this vicious cycle that, like, pains me so much to see how much of this desert has been picked up to pieces by Enderman. But we're not going to focus on that too much today, and instead we're going to focus on building a Minecraft, like part of a Minecraft village. Let's not be too ambitious here, you know. Let's dial down those expectations. Imagine a village, but less. There we go. Now that's a perfect, accurately build of what we're going to do. So we're going to put our paper back in here because we're not doing any trading. We're going to grab some torches out of here so we can light things up as we go, because again, don't want Enderman. I'm going to grab some sandstone, and maybe even some sandstone stairs. Treat ourselves. And then we're going to turn some of this sandstone into some cut sandstone. Yeah, I love cut sandstone so much. Like, how can you ever go back to the normal sandstone after you use it? So, yeah, you can kind of see out here that I've been focusing on, like, having, like, you know, some village buildings. But it's not just going to be old village buildings. I want to, just for fun, have, like, a weird mix of the new and old. I figured that would be something I'd enjoy. So we'll have, like, you know, this is the most basic type of village to build. I know. I'm a very basic person, some could say. And so we're going to build a fun type of village right here to go along with those. This is a type, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the most basic village thing you can find these days. And yeah, just like that, we'll do it. And also we're going to dig, like, a village pathway around here. Actually, let's finish a thing first. So, yeah, today I'm doing, like, a little bit of an experiment. I'm experimenting around with something I haven't actually done before. I've never used this redstone system. It's something I knew I'd like, also. Oopsie. It's something I knew I'd like, and it's something I knew was very easy, and that I wanted to show off. But it's one of those things I was like, yeah, let's give it a little bit of a whirl. And I think, you know, like, trying new things. Like, you can tell, looking around this world, the ice pathway, trying to make a village in the end. Like, you can tell looking at certain projects that, like, trying new things is a thing that I clearly have some affinity for, right? Like, I do enjoy... This house seems really small. Are the village houses really ever this small? You know, apparently so. Apparently they are. But, you know, actually, yeah, let's also have, like, a library next to this over here. Or we could build the library around the librarians. Yeah, that's what we'll do next. So anyway, because this is a type of library. This is the old type. This is a type of, like, trading house. But there's more types for all these things, of course. But, yeah, so one of the things that I'm really big fan of is, like, trying new things. I like to... One of the cool things about Minecraft is it gives you that, like, perfect opportunity to, like, try as much as you like. You know, you're excited to go all in and try something, like, entirely fresh. That's cool. Do you also just want to, you know, chill, play some Minecraft, focus on the rest of this later? Also cool. Oh no, you can't. I just realized the whole building is made from. If it's made from smooth sandstone, not sandstone anymore, right? How do you even make smooth sandstone? There's sandstone, and then there's sandstone. How do you make smooth sandstone? I actually don't know. I feel like there's cut sandstone, and then there's chiseled sandstone, and then there's smooth sandstone. How do you even get in there, Enderman? Like, what is what is going on today? Yeah, something about this village looks off. Ah, that's, you know, we'll just live with it. We'll live with it. It's fine. I see no issues with this, and so if you see no issues with this, then there are no issues with this. This is factually how it works. Again, we're trying something out. We made a mistake. And now we can admit to our mistake, or do the much more fun thing and just pretend that there is no mistake. So now what we do is we place, like, place just a block over there. I have a little staircase on the sides. For whatever reason, Minecraft villages are like this. They have little stairs on the corners. I think. I could be entirely imagining that is true. Little stairs in all four corners. And then there's a little roof. Which, again, seems like it would be very low. I guess this must be another block off the ground. Yeah, let's go one extra block off the ground here before we place the staircases. And let's do this. But anyway, so, what have I been up to in the last week? A lot of people... I don't have, like, a vlog series on the channel. I actually kind of do with the advent of YouTube stories. But the last week, I've been super excited. Like, we finally got a release date for the Let's Play world. That's wonderful. People have been asking me that forever, and there hasn't been an answer. Like, it's been whenever Microsoft can approve it, but there's a lot of issues that's been holding that approval up. Finally got them sorted, and so again, I think a lot of people are excited about that. If you're not excited in the slightest, then maybe you're excited about the fact that I've been looking for a house. For whatever reason, one of the few things that is okay to do still is looking for houses, and so lots and more houses than ever have been on the market in the areas that I've been looking at. And so okay, you know, if I have to move house anyway, now's as good as time as any, or as bad as time as any. You know, it's interesting how you can think of almost any activity as now being the best time or the worst time, and make a really valid case for either, right? Like, you know, is this the worst time to be, you know, going outside? Arguably, yes. Alternatively, best time to be going outside because no one's outside, you know? Like, there's the big brain version of that move. Honestly, you know, actually, cut sandstone slab, though. You know, we'll take this cut sandstone slabs, and we'll see what we can do with them. But, because the windows in deserts are, super bizarre, usually. They're, they look like that. They've got, little slabs halfway through them. I don't know why this is the case. And also, I'm pretty sure this isn't a real desert villager house. I don't know what went wrong, or where, but somewhere along the way, we stopped making a villager house and started making something else. But I've been looking at houses and it being I don't know, there's something kind of exciting, just intuitively, ooh, it's a new place. And something also terrifying about, you know, if you make it's that thing I was saying, oh yeah, making a mistake, I mistakenly built this house, but it's fine. I can either destroy it if I really hate it, or I can just, you know, I can change it, I can alter it, or, you know, I've got lots of options. In the real world, the scariest thing about houses, because when you rent a house, you know, it's on a semi-short-term basis, you know, a few months is usually the average contract. Whereas when you buy a place, it's yeah, this is you are here until you know, indefinitely. Actually, there is no until that goes on here. You know, should the beds be part of the pathway of the village? I mean, I guess I don't see any reason why not. But there's this interesting concept of forever, right? We say forever sometimes in society, and what we really mean is oh yeah, until you know, for a long time, until I forget about it. You know, how long, if someone says oh yeah, if a company says we're never gonna raise our prices, that means, you know, for the next 6 months, you can foresee, you know, when a government says, you know, we're never gonna increase taxes, you know, that means, you know, who knows for sure, you know, and vice versa, some things that are temporary, oh yeah, we're temporarily gonna, you know, raise those taxes, or we're temporarily gonna introduce you know, right now there's a thing where you have to temporarily just add your little health details in when you go in somewhere, or a little health declaration that's temporary, that's oh yeah, just confirm you don't have symptoms of a thing. Why would you ever get rid of that? You know, there's a lot of interesting parts of the idea that you know, temporary is never temporary, and forever is never forever. But when you're buying a home, at the very least, it is a very big hassle that costs you lots of money to get out of. And also, I guess we're gonna mine into the ground here. I guess this is a perfect place for a pathway. And the other side of things, besides okay, so you know, you're spending a lot of money, literally, if you don't know the prices of house in London, sad, close to $1 million in some cases, over $1 million if you convert to American and you're watching it from there. Hello, American viewers. Would you like to give me $1 million? Oh, you wouldn't? Then I can't afford a house, can I? So you gotta deal with a bank. There's so many steps to the process, I guess what I'm saying. And then you're also trying to deal with this concept of forever. That you know what, we say forever, and we mean it as a romantic expression. You know, what's the most romantic thing you could do to someone? I guess not anymore, but traditionally marriage, because it's yeah, I'm so committed to you that I will sign a piece of paper in front of all of my friends and family saying we will be together, not for a while, not for a few days, not temporarily, forever. I almost think you know, it's that funny thing where the exact point I was proving, half of all marriages break up, whereas a lot of long-term relationships that never end in marriage was just two people being oh yeah, you're probably a good fit, and they're oh, I guess if you say so, I guess we'll date. We could share a house. That'd be reasonable. that whole thing, temporary is so often forever, and forever is so often very temporary, because we don't really know how to deal with, timescales are a hard thing, right? Like, the day is something that every human has pretty intuitively in their head. Like, you wake up, and then you do a bunch of stuff, and then you go to bed, and then 8 hours pass, you go unconscious, and then the next day, you're awake again. You gotta do some stuff, and then you go unconscious, and, it's a never-ending cycle. I guess it's not never-ending. Never-ending is very melodramatic and factually inaccurate. Okay, let's make some more cut sandstone, and let's build another place around these villages. I'm not gonna let them out until they obviously produce the books that I want, but we're gonna do it anyway. So, but yeah, so the kind of concept of rep. So we're gonna have like a block here, let's say, and then we're gonna have like sandstone here, and then here. And then there's a little window gap, so this would be the doorway, and then that there. That seems a little bit small. I think it's actually more like. Oh, also this is an even number of blocks. I think we've made a crucial mistake here. Okay, you know what? We can recenter this. This is fine. So this. I think this instead goes up like 2, and then this goes up 2, but then that goes down 1. This is actually a brand new block. See, I'm going to need torches now, otherwise Enderman will spawn all over my stuff. And then this is clearly an empty passageway. This becomes a little window, and then this is the outside. Perfect. Okay. You know what? Toycat teaches you how to build villages, but really, he's teaching you how to build a lifestyle. So, that's the title of this video now. There is this really interesting idea that I sometimes try to think about, like, okay, do you even try to go for it? Do you even try to handle the fact of, like, yeah, this is until you die, or until you want to spend a lot of money getting rid of it at least? Or, do you try and plan, what do I want in 10 years? Like, what do I even want tomorrow is hard enough. What do I want for dinner? I worked out 20 minutes ago that I should order some McDonald's, and it is now, I think it's already been delivered. Oh no, it's coming here in 2 minutes. So, good thing I checked on that. But, like, working out, like, near-term ambitions. Like, one of the scariest things that I feel like we do to people in education is we're, like, specialize in a subject that you will get a degree in and functionally have to do for the rest of your life. Don't worry about it. It's easy. It's chill. Like, you can always respecialize. It just takes a lot of time and money. What's that? Like, it's fine. It's easy. Like, people change their minds all the time, and they suffer very greatly for it. But, like, it's, like, like the idea that we make people, like, choose forever when they're, like, super young, and, like, you haven't had the experience of a lot of things. Like, knowing what your favorite food is, even, like, until you're halfway through your life, even then, like, you might change your mind. How do you know what your favorite anything is? Your favorite subject in school, your favorite... It's impossible to know, is the realistic answer. Maybe realistic is the wrong word, but it's very hard to know exactly what's going on there. You know what, I just got a notification, my food is here. See, I could work out what I wanted for dinner in 20 minutes. Do I know what I want for dinner in 10 years? Because I need to know, because I need to have a house that's near enough by it that I can go. If I have this disaster whenever I go, like, look for food. It's like every single place that you choose to eat at means that every other choice that you could have chosen, you didn't. It's the opportunity cost, and most people don't think about it too much. Like, like I think when you're presented with decisions, some people are like, oh god, it's kind of hard. But I feel like I have, like, the worst analysis paralysis. Like, you give me 10 options and you say I need to make one of them, and it's really important, and there's a lot of long-lasting ramifications to it, and I'm gonna be like, you know what if we just didn't know? How would that go? Like, it's the easiest thing to do when presented with the force of a decision is to not make a decision. Also, I think this is meant to be a flaw rather than, we should level this whole thing out, but I don't know at what level. I guess we could just raise everything up 1 block. Yeah, that would work. Also, I think this should be more than 3 blocks deep. I think it's meant to be 4 blocks deep, but I think I might have already lost that possibility. It's fine. We're learning. The village is growing, and we're making mistakes as we do so, which is part of the human experience. Also, I don't think we have any bricks for flower pots. The hardest thing about starting a village out in the middle of nowhere is finding resources is impossible. This is how, like, frontiersmen felt when they're like, oh, I'm living thousands of miles from people in a time where thousands of miles is hard. I should have worked out what I wanted for dinner 3 years from now, because now I can't have it because I'm on the wrong side of the country or even the earth. See, fortune free? Great. It's not as fortunate, though, as getting Silk Touch. Silk Touch is nice, but, like, you know, it's easy enough to enchant for by default. The thing you want from librarians are the enchantments that are really hard. Oh, no. It could have been Unbreaking there. We'll pretend that it wasn't there. Luck of the Sea? No thanks. Over here, we got this. No thanks. Stand off the pressure plate. What do we got? Keep on giving me things here. But yeah, in the same way that people struggle with picking a profession for the rest of their life, and that I struggle with picking dinner, it's very hard to work out, you know, where you'd want to live for such a huge amount of time. It's very, you know, it's a big, at the very least, it's a big decision. But if you're trying to make the objectively correct decision, the crazy thing about houses, unlike, you know, when you're choosing, at the very least, when you're choosing where to eat, there's like 100 finite options. Every single house is very slightly different to every other house. If in the UK, we right now I actually live in a terrace house, so I live in a house that looks exactly like my neighbor's house, and his house looks like it. You know, there's something nice about that isn't very common in America, but that I find charming at the very least. And you know, at least there's like some similarities between them. But when you move out of that, when you go to places that aren't the same, there's still very minor differences, like different numbers of bedrooms, different numbers of, you know, slightly different access to. Ooh, loyalty's a good one actually. Loyalty on a trident is a fun thing. Can't put it on a hoe yet or ever. You know, choosing the right human being to spend a lifetime with. How does anyone ever be sure about that? You're not sure about it. You're making a really good idea, and then you're saying it to a bunch of people, and then you're hoping you can stick with it. That's the beauty of marriage. But there's no equivalent to that with house where you're like, you're not. I guess there is the equivalent to that with house. If you choose to buy it, you know, when you're renting, it's always easy enough to get out of it. If the landlord breaches the contract, you're out of it. When your time comes out, you're out of it. If you even want to just spend the money, a huge amount, and just pay the rent and not live there, at the very least you're out of it. Although, realistically, that last one is kind of like, you know what? If you had an infinite pool of money, you can do anything. But, you know, like this, having access to, you know, like more options kind of makes things harder, because every option you're not choosing is one that you could have potentially had if you had chosen it. And so, yeah, I'm having a little bit of a nightmare crisis, thinking like, oh, what if you get there, you move in, you have a great first day, and on day 2, you discover something terrible. And every single person, every day that's happening to someone, they move into a house, they've spent thousands on taxes, because in the UK, you don't pay taxes yearly, you pay taxes once when you move in to a house, not all taxes. You know, it's a tangent, but someone once, like, in response to me talking about American taxes, something I clearly done a lot of research on, because I was gonna become, I was considering becoming an American citizen, or dual citizen at one point, and then concluded like, ooh, no, I do not want to be forever tied into the filing a tax return every year. And someone's like, oh, Toycat, you're an idiot, you don't have to file a tax return. A tax return's when the government gives you money. And there's this, something about that comment on a recent Let's Play, I think it was, just rubbed me in such the wrong way, where it's like, some people, like, again, like, deciding to put something onto the internet is scary. When I put this video out there, and I'm giving you some advice, if something is a little bit wrong in here, you know, like even right now, there's a chance, this is just, I've never done this before, I'm doing it for the first time, showing you how my experience goes. There is a chance that this does not work the way that I want it to. Impaling 5, ooh, what a great, I can hurt so many fish. There's something really scary about putting yourself out there, and you know, so I think about it in the same way I think about dinner or a house. So, you know, like with a lot of YouTube videos, I have to literally like force myself not to think about it, or it's gonna be a tragedy. Like oh, efficiency 5 is nice. Imagine efficiency 5. Actually, you're not too easy to get otherwise. We need to focus on unbreaking, and then later we can come for these weird ones. But there's you know, like, ooh, Luck of the Sea. It's kind of like putting something on the internet is hard, and then some people can just hear something and be like, oh, that sounds correct. There is, sometimes the government does a return, you know, it's called a tax refund. Yeah, there's that tax thing the government does. So when he's saying tax return, where he has to, you know, follow things to the government, no, that means the government's giving him money every year, and they're like, oh yeah, I've solved you. It's like, how do you, again, how can you be so confidently wrong about something is something that really, I guess, gets to me. Like, when you're, at least, you know, when I'm, like, not sure about something, I try to admit, like, you know, I'm not too sure about this one. Like, you know, maybe the truth is this isn't, I like to think that I'm objectively analyzing things, and I'm like, okay, every house, every single use case. Whoa, Bane of Arthropods 5 costs 64 emeralds. No, thank you. I like to think that I'm objectively analyzing things sometimes, but realistically, it's coming from my own subjective viewpoints and biases. That, like, not a big fan of people, not a big fan of misinformation. I think to some people, like, finding out that something they believe, something they were told was true was fake is like, oh, that's cool. Oh, it turns out that, I don't know, insert president here isn't actually a skeleton from the deep state. Okay, that's fair. Oopsie. Whereas to me, like, if you're gonna believe something, you want that to stick. There's no point wasting information space on fake information, and there's far more information in the information age than there is space in your brain to store it. So picking what information to have is important, and when it's wasted on someone became a fun fact, I use the same program to stream and record, and so you see when someone becomes a channel member. I've been appreciating recently, like, so January, rough month for YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers just take the month off. That's not what I wanted to do. So instead, I've been streaming a bunch, and I like that some people have been supporting the streams in that way. Like, again, like, as someone who is so critical of, like, every time I put something out, I'm like, oh, I don't know how, like, I am continually sure that everything is going to collapse any month now, like any day now, any minute now. Like, it's just around the corner. But the fact that, like, even just while I'm recording a Let's Play, I'm not even streaming, someone's like, yeah, I'd love to become a channel member. I like things. I like to support the things that I like and to hopefully make more of them out there. And that includes you and the thing that you made. It's like one of the most complimentary feelings out there. Do you know, here's something, here's an interesting, like, heartbreaking fallacy for you. So, every now and then I'm missing one of the villager's trades. In fact, let's do it right now. Let's break all of your hearts. I'm going to get the villager with some trades. I'm not going to look at them, and then I'm going to move them off. Right there, I could have just lost myself the ability to have Unbreaking free, right? There's a tiny chance he had Unbreaking, and I could have seen it. And a lot of people would think, like, oh, what if, what if they'd just been, or like, there's another one is like, oh, you could have drawn any card from the deck at any moment. Like, everyone likes to think about the what ifs sometimes, but, like, it's just as likely a chance as any other role that he did or didn't. Like, so, like, maths removes a lot of the fun from equations sometimes, and it's the same thing with, like, dinner or houses. Like, what's the most efficient option to eat out at? Well, today it was McDonald's because I got a 40% off code with Uber Eats. This is the weirdest product placement ever. Yeah, you thought this was my organic thoughts? No one eats McDonald's organically. I'm just getting promoted by... No, I'm just kidding. Of course, this video is not sponsored. Unlike lots of people, I follow disclosure guidelines because it's the law and it's a good idea. It's like mending. Should we leave the mending book here? I feel like we're almost obliged to, right? So we're gonna leave him with his mending, and because, like, it's such a good book. Even though I have it elsewhere in the world, like, if I'm doing Unbreaking, I want to do mending too. Like, and it's such a rare one to find. But yeah, if you wanted mending, you can see it is possible. And now to prove the next thing, let's prove that we can indeed get some Unbreaking too. Okay, what do you got? What do you got over there, buddy? You got some bookshelves? Don't want some bookshelves. You know what I do want, though? Oh. I bet you could, like, find, like, a really nice groove on how to do this. Oh, no, because if you want to be able to lock in the trade if you're wrong on something. So, like this, for instance, we locked it in. Oh, by the way, in case this is going to save you some hassle, I don't need to tell you this. It's not going to affect my YouTube views in any way. But if, for instance, I really wanted law, break the piston. Don't step off it and be like, okay, I'll just save that trade. No, if you step off, the trade's gone. Law free would be gone. Unbreaking free could be gone, etc. But yeah, I've been appreciating all the shows of love. You know what? YouTube is not forever, but I like that people are at least making it not 2 days in my mind. And so thank you for the people buying a member, buying the map, buying whatever it is. It's crazy to see the love, I guess. There's love in the world seems like a rare thing, and so on social media, it's such a rare feeling because you don't want to see someone else feeling love. So, like, you scroll past that, you scroll someone else's worst feelings, and you like it, and you're like, oh god, what if we are all doomed? What if there is a war happening in the Middle East? What if there is some 5G inside those vaccines? By the way, now's a bad time to mention this because you know, on YouTube right now. Can't be talking about the C word. But, you know, if there was if there was 5G in the vaccines, which is the dumbest theory, and I know it's like you're conflating two things. You know, the weird thing about 5G is it's deliberately the short range, like it has to be very short range compared to other types of internet. Like, you need to have thousands of hotspots for 5G to really work. And so it's like, you know, so someone has to be really close to you to track you if it was a 5G chip. And like, if someone has to be really close to you to track you, then like, doesn't that defeat the point of simulating a whole global pandemic and the years of economic damage that have been done? Like, you know, aren't there easy ways to track you if they have to be, like, you know, if you're a paranoid conspiracy theorist, you know what? There could be some, oh, we got mending twice. Although on this one, it's cheaper. Okay, you know what? Tactical decision. We break this now. And then we move back to this one. And now, and actually, here's the fun thing. If you were like really stingy of your emeralds, I mean, I have plenty of emeralds, you could do that and that'd be fun. Anyway, let's get back to this. Oh, do you want to see something really interesting? It seems as though this villager has stopped being the one that is linked to this table. He is now linked to some other table, and now he no longer loses his job. For some reason, or... Oh no, I've got the wrong trader locked in there. At some point, I traded with this villager, or he switched places with another one, and I don't know which it is. I'm very confused. Now I have two mending villagers, one who just gives me an objectively better price than the other one. In fact, this is better than the price I have, even in my faraway village, so... This guy is now trapped in a bad profession, so I guess I have to kill him? Question mark? I don't see another way around this. But yeah, so we can... Should I accept my loan book of mending? Should I say, oh, this sucks that I traded with him at some point without realizing it? I don't even know how. Like, I don't know when the trade happened, but he got some experience, and now he is ruined as a villager. Now I must leave and continue going somewhere else. And we'll do the exact same thing wherever we go. Except, you know, maybe... No, we had one quest today, and we're doing that quest. So you, Mr. Villager over here, would you like to become a librarian? Oh, you would like to become a librarian. How convenient. What if perhaps, as well as being a librarian, you lived back here in this gentleman's house over here? Let's see if we let's see if we can get him to walk in there. Or, you know, let's be honest, it's not a consensual walk. It's maybe a bit more of a it's a bit more of a forced walk. And there we go. And then what we do is we check in on the other side. Okay, apparently neither of them have chosen to leave. So we'll make this guy choose to leave. Just like, okay. Okay, don't ask me how any of this works, but it seems to be, at the very least, working out for now. We're getting ourselves a villager. He is, in fact, getting trades again. And we're going back into the grinding method. I don't know what went wrong here. It almost seems like the two villagers switched places while I reloaded the world. I'll be honest, I went to go eat McDonald's. If you feel like there's a weird cut between then and now, it's because Toycat ate some McDonald's, and he's hiding his shame using the power of video editing. I know, I'm terrible. But, yeah, I think on the... Ooh, interesting. He's no longer... Yeah, there's something very bizarre. Okay, there we go, we're good. But, on the subject of, like, trying to find this perfect thing, there's this... I think there's, like... Maybe call it, like, there's a perfectionist inside me that thinks, like, why would you settle for a lesser option than the best? You know, you live one life, you've got to make it perfect. And so, you know, like, that can apply to all sorts of things. Some people are perfectionists when it comes to games. Like, 100%ing a game is a really fun experience that I used to love to do. Like, when I completed a game, I was like, it's done now. We did it. We got all 100%. Or when a game went to 125%, I thought, like, well, you're kind of misunderstanding how percentages work here, game. But, like, still, I'm gonna get 100% there, too. There's something just extraordinarily fun. Okay, we got... Smite 1 here. There's something extraordinarily fun about completing something. There's something extraordinarily unique and interesting about the idea of... Goddamn. There's just something that like hits my brain correctly about that makes me go, yeah, I want to complete this. And that kind of applies to so many real-life decisions. But one of the things that I'm trying to get better at doing is knowing when... Sure. You know, it would be nicer... 100%, it would be better, undoubtedly, if, indubitably, it would be significantly better for me to find the perfect house. But if the pursuit of perfect makes you do nothing, if in the pursuit of trying to do the absolute best thing you can, you end up doing nothing, that's worse than doing something imperfect. Like, again, it's a real hard line to draw, and it's a real struggle because, like, someone at some point in your life will say to you, like, oh, so you think that instead of saving all of the, you know, like, the lives, you know, like, you know, it's kind of like the trolley problem. Like, you know what? When I'm presented with the trolley problem, I save all 6 lives. You know, like, oh yeah, there's a lever I can pull that could, you know, I pull it, and then instead of killing 5 people, I kill 1 person. Wow, moral dilemma. Not for me. I go out and I save all 6. And it's like, well, that's not the problem, is it? The problem is the trade-off. You've got to choose between 5 or 1. He's like, no, I save all 6. You're a murderer. You'd kill either 1 or 5 people. I'd save the 6. And it's like, well, you're ruining the hypothetical here. No one says that in the hypothetical because you give clear options. In real life, the options aren't as clear as that. In real life, you know, like, when you're given a few choices, and you know, it's never 2 options. People who pretend it's 2 options are people who are maybe taking this to its extreme. Like, you know, there's either really bad or there's not really bad, and you know, there are more choices between that. It isn't a perfect binary, perhaps we could say. But I also do think that there is this real fear that, like, trying to do, you know, I've spent a long time, like, kind of just browsing houses being like, nope, not perfect, nope, not perfect, nope, not perfect. But if, you know, in the stages of not moving to a perfect house, I am living in a house that is less perfect than all the non-perfects. And, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's, there, you know, while trying to find a game that I loved so much I would 100%, I've just been casually playing some Minecraft during the days, some Hearthstone during the nights, you know, Battlegrounds in case you're curious. But I've been playing, you know, like 2 real casual games, and I'm like, you know, it would be nice if I played through like you know, got like a good story going on. Instead of getting into a new series because I'm so scared of like a 10-hour commitment, I just watch casually The Office, or I watch YouTube or a podcast, or you know, you get me, like if you're at least if you're going to do something like that, being aware that that's what you're doing is a good idea. Because, oh my god, what if this video is infinite? What if this video does not have an end? What if you do not find Unbreaking? What if Unbreaking 3 is just an impossibility? We don't know for sure. But yeah, yeah, we got Unbreaking 2. Maybe, you know, the longer I go, the more I think to myself, should we have just gone for it? Should we have just taken Unbreaking 2? To go back to the same metaphor, like, if you're going for extreme perfection, there is one result you are happy with, everything else is equal. Unbreaking 2, just as bad as not having anything. When you go with that attitude, I feel like there is a tempting dilemma going on. You know, they say the definition of insanity is attempting the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And you know, they actually just say that phrase, like it's a very common phrase that people say. No one actually says the words itself. Everyone always pre-quotes that with they say. It's like, who is they? Is there some global cabal that you're trying to hint is in charge of this? I don't know what they are saying. They. I always love when they is used as like a ambiguous term so that you, the audience, can make up your own thing. You know, they don't want you to see my videos. They're trying to hide them from you. The only way you can see them is to oh, protection, damn. Only way to see them is to subscribe. But yeah, even though this takes like a while, you're going to spend a little bit of time with it. The fact that you can trade emeralds for books rather than having to enchant randomly, like every time you do this in a normal world, you know, you have to get the 3 levels, then you have to, no, what if this was perfect? It was impaling, we're fine. What about this? Okay. Imagine if that was perfect and we just re-rolled it right there. Impaling again. Not good. What about now? Efficiency. Man, we've gone so, I feel like we've gone through every enchantment to a level where I don't even think we can get that. If we got Unbreaking 2 now, I'd be like, sure. It's better to have it than to not. It's better to have it now and then improve on it later. Because, you know, the interesting thing about, like, change, the interesting thing about all sorts of things in your life is, like, when you're aiming for perfection, you're setting yourself up to fail. But most changes that happen, like, you know, if you look at your life, it probably doesn't seem like there are massive, substantial changes all the time. But yeah, if you look at your life now and you compare it to 10 years ago, if you look at your life now, compare it to 5 years ago even, the amount of change that's happened, despite the fact that there are only a few moments, if any moments, because most change happens gradually, and just making sure the gradual change happens in the right direction is so much more important than getting those key moments right. We're all scared about the key moments that define us, but the big moments that define us are the ones in between. You know what? I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be the longest video you ever watch. It's Toycat considers the value of life, the value of Toycat considers the point even of life, because sometimes it's, you know, like maybe I'm the only one here. Maybe this is like a sign of some cult. We got mending for the 3rd time. How is this happening? Also, these Endermen, they are teleporting around so much. With, I would like to mention, all of the sand that I spent. Oh, that's so weird. That, like, the moment I just look away and I'm like, I gotta focus on something else. There is my unbreaking. I'm gonna now break this pressure plate, make sure it can't be used to harm me, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get myself unbreaking free using some of that paper that I put somewhere. There we go, paper. So I'm just gonna sell paper to him. That will lock down his trades, and then I can buy it later. Actually, no. Why do all this effort and then not just buy it straight away? Let's give him some emeralds. Oh, we have to take some of these out. Also, you know, we've got a lot of blocks around here we need to get rid of. So let's put the lever over somewhere. You know what? There's a lever. Great place. Anyway, so let's go ahead here. Let's lock in this. Let's confirm some breaking. Unbreaking is locked in. If we can find a book, which, or we can just unmake these into things. There we go. Now we can give officially, look at that. Look at the way they're like holding out enchanted books. Isn't that beautiful? We can now, for just 16 emeralds, that's actually really cheap in my opinion, buy Unbreaking free. Oh yes, finally. Isn't this glorious? Isn't this glorious? Unbreaking free. See, you know what? Sometimes, to go entirely counter to my my previous point, I think most of the time, it's really valuable to know just like, okay, you're not gonna get there, sell for the good, sell for the okay, and then work your way up. Like you know, sometimes people say like, oh yeah, settle for okay, and then give up forever. There is definitely a process of like, yeah, you gotta improve on okay. Okay is not the end goal. And in this case, we finally have it. And this is just a small part of my village civilization I'm building out here. I hope you enjoy it. I've decided, you know, actually, before we go, a few more things. One is to make it look more desert villagey, put some jungle buttons up there. Wow. Looks like we're in a desert village all of a sudden. Two, we're gonna take some of these beds, which are always in blue, orange, and yellow for some reason. I wonder if there's some significance behind those colors. I probably had some really good idea, like I'm building the Dutch flag here or something, but nope. Put a bed over here, and then the villagers will start to sleep in their pretend houses, which will be nice. So we're gonna have to break this bed. You have to be very careful. Never right click or left trigger a bed while you're in the end, or very bad things happen. That's my life pro tip for you right here. And if you want to do that for yourself, if you want to see what happens when you left click a bed in the end, yeah, I mean you all know, but like if you want to do it and you want to enjoy that, then that's a thing you'll be able to do and enjoy as of tomorrow. Because yeah, after a lot of hassle, after too much hassle, some might even say, I have now officially gone myself. Okay, we're gonna have to like shovel these blocks around, make a little hole in the ground. I've now gotten the map through all the precautions. Had to trim it, had to do a lot of stuff. You wouldn't even believe the level of stuff I had to do. I'm gonna move the, yeah, if I put like a second one of these slabs up here maybe, or like we'll put a slab there for no good reason, and then we'll break this and put it like in front, underneath this. Does that work? Yeah, you know what? I don't see why that doesn't work. No, wait, they can't use blocks when they're like that. So we'll just move the piston for now. Oh, no, we won't leave the piston. We'll get ready for another one of these. I want more librarians with more trades. Yeah, this is how you can get a really effective little trading system. As you can see, very useful, very easy. And if you want to do it, you might think, oh, that's so hard. No, if I can do it in the end, you can do it in the overworld. If, you know, going this far out to do it wasn't smart. But what I've learned from the process is that it's not about the journey, it's about the friends you make along the way. I'm just kidding. It's the most important thing is like one of the messages that like I tell myself and it calms me down when everything's like, oh god, it's not perfect. It's just like, you know what? It's going in the right direction. Some days, you know, you just have this feeling where like nothing is correct and it's all wrong, or I have this feeling, clearly wrongly so. But I have this feeling and it's like, oh, nothing's going even in the right place, and the whole direction isn't being like, as long as every day is not going to be perfect, your life isn't going to feel perfect. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's yours, etc., etc., etc. But I think the important thing is that the direction is so much more important than getting perfection. No one gets perfection by, or some people do, maybe, by just like perfectly aiming for it and then they succeed perfectly. Most people are just like, well, you know, as long as you have the right metrics, the right goals, the right targets to improve, you'll have a much better time. And although we only built 2 buildings today in my village, and one of them isn't really even complete, right? I mean, would you say this is complete? I would say it is not. You know, I need to complete it then. You know, there's no point just looking at it and being like, yep, that's no good. Let's just jump up here. Now let's do it. So I think it's sandstone all the way up to the top. And then there's a bunch of sandstone slabs up here. Don't have many of those, but that's fine. Then there's a bunch of sandstone slabs. We can just pretend. And then there is, if I'm not mistaken, a bunch of cut sandstone, like around the edges. So it's like stack, 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 stack. I think I've made this building 1 block too high, but you know what? I guess this is going to be like the off-brand desert, which I feel like is kind of perfect for what we're going for here. You know, it's like a desert if the desert was in the wrong dimension. Someone at Mojang spilt some coffee, and they made this. And aren't you glad they did? Is there a crafting table within range of here? See, this is why I need more crafting tables. Everyone makes fun of me. They're like, oh, Toycat, you have too many crafting tables. But I can't even access that one without jumping down. And you know what I have to do once I've jumped down? I have to get back up somehow. It's a whole nightmare. Oh, I can just do it from down here, actually. There we go. Look at that. We have now officially... Wait. We're gonna hold back on the celebration here. But, yeah, so I've been having a good time streaming this week. Let's Play's coming out tomorrow. I am very busy in an exciting way. And I finally come to, like, peace with the way the world is, I would say. It's scary and it's wrong, and I don't like the future in a world where people are used to now is a scary world in some ways, maybe a good world in some other ways. Yeah, the unknownness of the future is something that always scares people, I guess. And I guess for now, ooh, okay. The unknowingness of the future is always scary. Now it seems particularly scary, but you just think like, oh, things go in the right direction. And I think that, and I think, yeah, actually, they probably are. And that's what's important. So yeah, next week, I'm going to be doing something probably entirely unrelated. But I like this little End Village project, so that's going to be a thing. I'm still working on like a series of videos. I think the first one should come out this week of like weird dimensional projects. I'm really, like, they take a really long time to do, a lot of survival time. But I've been having a lot of fun time, like, in my off time, just play some Minecraft survival. Most of it's not recorded, like half of it's streamed. And then a little bit fits in video form. But, like, I just have a really good time working on some weird stuff that you're going to be seeing soon. And I don't have anything more concrete than, hey, tomorrow you can download the map on the marketplace. And if you want to see videos because you don't care about things that you can play around with yourself, then some good stuff's coming soon. But you know what's not coming soon? The end of this video, because it's already here. Goodbye.